NFL Weekly Rundown, Week 12. Danny?
Mark?
Hi there.
Hi.
Would you have said 12 weeks ago that the Chicago Bears would be in first place?
No.
Would you have ever dreamed that to be a possibility?
Yes.
Maybe possible, but probable? No.
Probably not.
How about that game against the Vikings?
That was Bears and then Vikings coming back up. Then Carlos Santos did it again.
Cairo, yep.
Cairo Santos.
It almost felt like a repeat of the Week 1 Monday night game, where it was like J.J. McCarthy does nothing for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden the Vikings wake up and they start running the ball effectively, and J.J. has a couple good throws on that last Vikings drive, and they put him in the lead. The difference in this game was Devin Duvernay's big kickoff return with like 50 seconds left after the Vikings scored. And then all the Bears did was run 3 times, take the clock down to 4 seconds, put their trust in Cairo, and he snuck it in there.
Yep.
Just barely.
Yeah.
But it counts, right? Just barely is through the uprights, and it counts for 3 points.
So that was an awesome game.
Yeah, it was.
As you can see, we have the Vikings facing backwards.
Facing backwards, they're really just a stand for the number 1 kind of thumb or
Bears
whatever you call it.
won first in place in our division.
First place in the division, and it feels good. I will say the next 7 games get very difficult. But the Bears have positioned themselves very nicely
Yeah.
for the stretch run. So
Don't they play the Blood and then the Lions?
they play the Lions the last game of the season.
Okay.
I want to say they play the Packers they play the Packers and then they play one team and then they play the Packers again. I want to say it's like 2 games in 3. Yeah, it's going to be a tough stretch, but you know what? Ben Johnson keeps saying, I want us to be playing our best football in December. So we're in November. They're going to have to play their best in December because they're playing the hardest the hardest teams on their schedule in December. I think maybe, why don't we just get right into our records from last week?
Okay.
And then we'll start talking about the games, and we can talk a little bit about then what we saw last week. You, straight up, 11 wins, 4 losses. Me, 11 wins, 4 losses. So, sorry, you went 12 and 3. I went 11 and 4. You went 1 game better than me. Okay? So, that means on the season, straight up picking winners, your grandpa has 108 wins, you have 106 wins, I have 104 wins. You're 2 ahead of me, 2 behind your grandpa. Against the spread, you beat me as well. 8 wins, 7 losses, 7 wins, 8 losses. So you got a little closer against the spread to the point where I have 85 wins, your grandpa has 85 wins, and you have 83 wins. So that's all 3 of us separated by only 2. So it is tight picking these games. We've got 4 teams on bye. Would you like to talk about those teams?
Sure.
Okay. The Denver Broncos are one of those teams. You called it. You called it that they beat the Chiefs, and they did.
Yeah.
Their 8th win in a row. And I mean, Bo Nix, it sounds like he is not playing that great, but he'll make 1 or 2 throws that are just perfect and at the right time, and he's really helping that team that I think they're still led by their defense, but if Bo Nix can make a couple timely passes, that team looks dangerous.
Yeah.
And your uncle and cousin were at the game?
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, great one to see. Okay, the Chargers. Boy, we blew that one. We thought they were going to win at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville played great.
35-6.
Crazy.
It was like the Chargers didn't even show up. And we've said this a couple times this year with the Chargers. Again, Justin Herbert was their leading rusher with only 21 yards. Now, I know their rookie Omarion Hampton is hurt, and I know their second running back, now I'm going to forget his name. Whoever he is, the second running back. They're both hurt. So, you know, they don't have a very good running back to begin with, but you got to get more than nothing from your running game. Because Herbert's just getting battered. He's just getting hit all the time, all game long. Next team on by, Miami. Man, did you see that game in Madrid, Spain in the morning on Sunday? You didn't see that one? Washington and Miami?
Maybe a little bit.
I felt like neither of those teams wanted to win. They just kept screwing up. Miami had the chance to kick a field goal with like a minute and a half left, and they decided to go for it, and they missed it. They could have kicked the field goal to take the lead. It was just like, what are you doing? But now, look at Miami. Okay, they're 4-7 in the standings, not good. But how about their next 4 games against the Saints, Jets, Steelers, and Bengals? You could go on a run. You could. It's not out of the question. And then the only thing I have about Washington is they lost that game in Madrid against the Dolphins. They missed 2 field goals, and they ended up signing Jake Moody from the Bears practice squad. So Moody's not around anymore. The good thing is Cairo made that field goal to win it, and it kind of looks like we don't need to think about Jake Moody if Cairo's healthy, right?
Yeah.
So Washington, boy, their season kind of is just down the tubes. Okay, kind of a big game in the AFC to start the week, Thursday night.
Bills, Texans.
Yeah, what can you say about these two teams?
Bills coming off their bye week?
Nope, they beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
In a real shootout,
That
and you
was a
called
lot of
it.
points.
Yeah, 44-32. And you called it as a high-scoring game, I remember. Josh Allen, AFC Player of the Week, 3 touchdown passes, 3 touchdown runs.
Wow.
He accounted for all 6 Bills touchdowns in that game.
That is one good game.
Yeah. And Houston, okay, I heard on the bad side that C.J. Stroud is out again for Thursday night. They're hoping he'll come back after. The good news is they're winning games with Davis Mills.
Davis Mills played pretty good last game.
He played good against Jacksonville. Last game, they did struggle to run the ball. Mills was okay against the Titans, but they only won on a last-second field goal.
True.
But they've got strong defense no matter who they play. I think that's something that Houston can hang their hat on and say, this is what we are. We are a good defensive team. One guy I keep forgetting about on that defense, they have Will Anderson on the edge. They have Derek Stingley Jr. as a cornerback. Daniil Hunter, the ex-Viking, he's a monster too.
Yeah.
He can get after the passer. He's good against the run. They're a strong defense. So, anything else you got on these teams before you pick?
4.5 point spread.
I actually had 6 by Buffalo, and I bet it's because once they said Stroud is out, it probably moved from 4.5 to 6.
Okay. I think it's gonna be kind of close.
I do too. I think within
But-
one possession.
After that game, I think I just have to pick the Bills.
I know, even though it's in Houston, I kind of feel the same way.
So Bills 28, Texans 21.
Okay, so you're going to actually have the Bills cover the 6-point spread.
Yeah.
I'll have the Texans cover the spread because, you know, we never pick the spread the same. No.
Spread the same.
I'm going to say Bills 24 and Houston 19. Okay, I put this game right to the top of the list. If you see, I put a little notification on my phone.
just needed to.
I needed to. It was necessary.
Steelers, Bears.
Okay, we'll talk. Oh no. Well, whatever. Hopefully she'll work her way out of here. Yeah, good dog. Pittsburgh. They crushed the Bengals, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Arrow, what is your problem?
On it.
Okay.
Thank you.
But Pittsburgh crushed the Bengals. But the thing that happened was Rodgers broke some bones in his left hand.
Yeah.
He didn't practice today. There's question whether he will be comfortable playing on Sunday. Like if he can't take a snap or, he said if I can't protect myself, he's not going to play. And then it would be Mason Rudolph. So that would be big for the Bears because I don't even want to tell you this, but Aaron Rodgers' record against the Bears.
I don't think I want to hear this.
You don't? I'm going to say it anyway. Bears 24 losses, only 5 wins when Rodgers is the starter. So part of me says, boy, I would feel so good if they did it against Rodgers.
Yeah.
But part of me also says, Bears, you never beat Rodgers, so let's just take on Mason Rudolph. But I don't know. I don't think Rodgers is going to play. I guess that's
good.
I think.
So, do you think if Mason Rudolph plays, the Bears will have a way better advantage?
I think so. Rudolph's not, Rodgers is not the quarterback that he has been in the past. He's not the player that he used to be. I still think he's better than Mason Rudolph. So, if that happened, I would feel a little bit better about the Bears' chances. I still think Pittsburgh has a very strong defense. They have a lot of guys you have to worry about, and they put a lot of heat on Flacco. They hit Herbert a ton 2 weeks ago. So they could try. They're going to try to get after Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
It's just how much success.
So sadly, I'm guessing this is not the right spread. I have Bears by just 3.
I had 3 too. I don't know why. We used to always see a half on every point spread, but for some reason this week there aren't as many with a half.
I think there's like 3.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw too. We did talk about the Bears. At some point, are you lucky or are you good, or are you a little bit of both? Because I feel like you could look at that game 2 ways. Boy, you blew it. And JJ was playing awful, and you let them back into the game. Why didn't you score touchdowns on those drives you kept kicking field goals on?
Yeah.
But then the other part of me says, hey, the defense played pretty strong for 3 quarters again against the Vikings. And Caleb he does enough. And the thing about the Bears, I heard this yesterday on a podcast I listened to. The cool thing about the Bears this year is every week, isn't there a different hero?
Yeah.
Like, against the Bengals, it was Caleb, and it was Loveland. It was Loveland. Against the Giants, it was Caleb with the 2 late touchdowns.
Yeah.
This week, I would say it was Duvernay and Cairo. It was Jake Moody against Washington, who is now Washington's kicker.
Yeah, which...
Josh Blackwell blocked a field goal against the Raiders and won the game. So it's like, they don't have maybe a star who's carrying them every single week.
It kind of switches off kind of every week.
It switches, and that's cool because everybody's contributing.
Who do you think it's going to be this week?
If you're putting me to the spot, I'm going to say...
Probably Cairo again.
Cairo again? I'll name it. I'm going to say... Oh, boy. How about you pick your game, and you pick the score. And
is Swift still questionable?
No, I think he practiced today.
Okay.
I think he's fine. I'm going to say the star is going to be Nahshon Wright. He's the guy who had that great interception on Addison in the end zone. And I'm pretty sure their defensive backfield is banged up. I think if Rudolph plays and tries to pick on Nahshon Wright, I think he's going to make a huge play. Okay.
So, ready for my score?
I'm ready.
I think, I'll say one more thing. I have faith that after that game, the Bears are fired up and Rudolph will play.
Okay.
So I'm picking kind of a shootout.
All right.
Bears, 31.
Yeah.
Steelers, 29.
Okay, so you're going to have Pittsburgh cover the spread. Well, I'm going to have the Bears cover the spread. I still think it's going to be close. I have a weird score. I think there's going to be a safety or a 2-point conversion in here or something. So I'm going to say Bears 25, Steelers 20.
You think the Bears are going to get the 2-point conversion or the safety?
I think so. I think Mason Rudolph will just do something dumb in the end zone, like, step out of the end zone or fumble it through the end zone or something like that. I've foreseen it. So, looked into my crystal ball and that's what I saw.
Okay.
Game 2 at noon on Sunday afternoon.
This is a big one.
Yeah, it is.
Chiefs.
Colts. They are coming off their, are they coming off their bye week? They are. Didn't they beat Atlanta on a overtime run by Taylor? I looked up Jonathan Taylor's stats.
Okay.
He leads the NFL this year in rushing yards with 1,139, rushing touchdowns with 15, yards per carry 6.0, which is every time he runs the ball, he's getting 6 yards. Or more, or less, but average, he's getting 6. That's a huge number when I bet the average in the NFL is like 4.1 or something around there. And he has the longest run of the season, an 83-yarder.
Wow.
So Taylor is just having a banner season for a running back. And I think potentially he's in the MVP race. Whether he wins it or not, we'll talk about the other guys who are in the mix as we go. The Chiefs, we talked about it with Denver. I thought they had them beat. The Chiefs were up 19-16 midway through the fourth quarter. And they got the ball after a Denver punt. They went 3 plays and punted. They gave up a field goal to Denver. Chiefs got the ball back, 3 plays and punt, and then they gave up another field goal at the gun with no time left, and they walk out losers.
Yeah.
If the season ended today, the Chiefs are out of the playoffs. Who would have thought that?
That would have been.
Who would have thought?
So fun.
Bears in, Chiefs out.
Yeah.
In fact, the Lions would be out right now.
And none of the Chiefs players that are out aren't even that good. I mean,
it seems like they're playing with their best.
Xavier was out for a little bit,
but I think he's back now.
Yeah.
Rasheed Rice was suspended for a while. He's back. I think
Isaiah Pacheco got out.
Pacheco might have missed the last game against Denver. I think he did. But on defense, they got Chris Jones. They've got McDuffie. Trent. I think his name is Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
Karlaftis. These guys are playing. I'm pretty sure they're healthy. So what is wrong with the Chiefs? It's weird. So this is a huge game. Danny Dimes and Taylor, some of the hottest players in the AFC, going to Kansas City against, the giant. I mean, they're still the team to beat in the AFC until somebody drives the stake into their heart, and just ends them.
Will the Colts, the best team in the league for a while?
Jeez, if the Colts beat them, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a losing record.
Wow.
That would be wild. Do you have Chiefs by 3.5?
Yeah.
Me too. They think there's going to be a lot of points here. I see 49.5, which...
I have 50.
Okay, so I think this is going to be one of the higher scores. The experts think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay. You ready?
I am ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
Colts, 28.
Okay.
Chiefs, 27.
Oh, so you...
Picking the upset.
Okay.
And it's not just that I really want it. It's just I feel like Jonathan Taylor is going to really want this one. And I think he's going to just, again, do the start of the game.
Yeah, well, he's been almost impossible to stop this season. I think Pittsburgh did a pretty good job against him. That game was in Pittsburgh. It was on a grass field outside. Kind of like what Kansas City has, a grass field outside. So I might be giving you hints about which way I'm going. I'm going to take the Colts to cover the spread, but we're going to disagree. I'm taking the Chiefs to win the game, 27-24. I don't think Mahomes is going to let them go out like this. Like I still think the Chiefs are going to make a run at the playoffs, whether we want it to happen or not. But that's just my opinion. You could be right. You are beating me against the points, or Well, you're beating me picking winners this year, so, you know, maybe you'll be right on this one too. Next.
Patriots and Bengals.
So we talked about Denver winning 8 games in a row. Guess who else has won 8 games in a row?
Patriots.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. And May, at least when I looked, he leads the NFL in passing yards and in completion percentage. He's completing 71 out of his passes. So about for every 10 times he throws a pass, 7 of them are complete. That's a high number.
Good.
That is a really high number. And they beat somebody pretty easily.
Titans?
I was the Jets on Thursday night. They just stifled Fields. I mean, the Jets can't pass.
And we were talking with Colts actually.
Mm-hmm.
MVP racers.
Taylor for sure.
And also, I'd say Drake May.
I think you could put May in the mix. Yeah. So I forget who were we talking about first for the MVP. Was it? It must have been Taylor. Or.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep going with this game. The Bengals destroyed by the Steelers. Some of that Joe Flacco magic is wearing off. And oh, did you happen to see what Ja'Marr Chase did?
No. I actually didn't watch that game.
Yeah, well, you missed him getting in an altercation with Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, yeah.
Ramsey punched him, and Ramsey got kicked out of the game. They watched the video after the game. Guess what Chase did to him?
Spit on him.
Spit on him. So, my star fantasy football player is suspended for this game.
For how long? Just
One
this
game. One game. So, that's not good. It's terrible sportsmanship. You just never do that to anybody. And Mike Tomlin, the Steelers coach, pretty much said, you know what? I'm paraphrasing. He didn't exactly say this, but basically he said Chase got what he deserved. Like, he's not going to tell his players, hey, punch a guy if they spit on you, but he couldn't really blame Jalen Ramsey for what he did.
Yeah.
As for the Bengals, yeah, they're kind of season falling apart. And if they lose a couple more games, even though Burrow is practicing, I don't really know if they'll bother letting him play. Like, if they have 3 wins in 2 weeks and they're 3-9, would they even bother with Burrow?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, just let him rest until next year. Do you have Patriots by 8?
Yeah. No,
7.5. So it went up just a little bit. And they're also thinking a lot of points in this one, probably mostly because the Bengals don't play defense.
And the Patriots are playing.
Pretty good. Yeah, they're putting up some big points. So with no Chase, no Burrow, boy, I think you can guess which way I'm going on this one. But it is in Cincinnati, so you tell me what you got.
Just gotta pick Patriots on this one.
Yeah, that's where I'm
I mean, I can't pick the upset, especially without
Ja'Marr Chase.
Ja'Marr Chase.
Right. Or Gibbs.
Yeah. Wow.
Since he's not on their team.
Yeah. Patriots 28, Bengals 20.
Okay, so you're picking right at the 8-point spread.
Yeah.
Do you want to change it at all? Because really you wouldn't get a win or a loss with that kind of pick.
No. That's even worse.
Okay.
No. Yeah, 17.
28-17. Okay, so you're going to take New England to cover the spread. I'm going to take the Bengals to cover the spread. 30-23 Patriots. Okay, next game. Mine are a little out of order because, well, we'll figure it out.
Jets, Ravens?
Yeah, I can do that one.
Okay.
Okay, so Fields, shockingly, couldn't pass the ball against the Patriots. Finally, Aaron Glenn, their coach, has said, Fields, you're out. Tyrod Taylor, you're in. So they're going with a new quarterback.
Okay. Against a pretty hard team to beat.
Yeah, and Baltimore was losing 16-10 in the fourth quarter to the Browns. But then they scored a touchdown, and I think they kicked 2 field goals, or maybe they scored a touchdown and missed an extra point. I don't really know, but they won 23-16. Lamar was not good for my fantasy team, but he also threw a pick 6. But it doesn't take a whole lot.
It was against the big division rival.
Yeah, the Browns, that's true. Yeah. It doesn't take much to beat the Browns.
Yeah.
At least this year. So I show Baltimore favored by 13.5. Is that what you have?
14.
14? Okay, so 14. Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Close.
Should I just change it to?
You can change it to 13.5. That way, if you pick the point spread, if you pick the difference to be 14 points, you're picking Baltimore instead of if you pick 14 and the spread is 14, it's like you're not even making a bet, really. So, Jets Ravens, what are your thoughts?
Derrick Henry, I don't know if they're probably going to try to feed him the ball more.
When I looked at Taylor's rushing numbers, Derrick Henry is still top 5 in rushing yards this year. So it feels like he's having such a bad year, but really he's one of the top 5 at least by rushing yards.
Yes. Could I take a guess at the 5?
I might not remember them all, but you can start. You can try.
Well, I think we know the top 3 because you just told me one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Derrick Henry,
mm-hmm.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think so, but I don't remember.
And Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon?
I don't remember if he was on there. I don't remember if Bijan was on there. Oh, who was a surprise was Rico Dowdle. Was
really?
5th, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
So those are some of the names that were up there in rushing yards. Now, the thing about it is a guy like Bijan or a guy like McCaffrey, they might be held to a low running yardage, like handoffs, but they're taking passes and helping their team with receiving yards.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just want to know, how many total yards did you give me? I don't care if you did it on the ground or in the air,
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a score for this, what looks like a blowout.
I'm not picking as big of a blowout as you would think.
Okay.
But I still have Ravens covering the points.
All right.
So 38, Jets 27. Or no, I don't have now I don't have the Jets.
You changed it?
Now I don't have the Ravens covering the points spread.
38-27.
Yeah.
I forgot this is also a Tyrod Taylor revenge game because he used to play for the Ravens, I think.
Was he ever their starter?
If he was, it was for a really brief time. Maybe he didn't play for the Ravens. Maybe I'm confusing him with Snoop Huntley, but I don't think he was ever their starter, or maybe he backed up Lamar Jackson for a little while. But I'm going to take the Ravens, and I'm going to take them to cover this point spread. I don't think Tyrod Taylor is necessarily the answer to the Jets' problems. I'll say Ravens 27 and the New York Jets 10. We got more games.
Blowout?
Yeah, blowout city.
Seahawks, Titans.
Although, did you see the Seahawks-Rams? We saw the end of it
at
my mom and dad's house, but Sam Darnold threw 4 picks.
Yeah, it was against a really good defense.
Do you remember in the playoffs last year, Darnold and the Vikings had to go to play the Rams? And Darnold had a lot of problems against the Rams in that game. Now he's on a new team with the Seahawks, but the Rams are still kind of just giving him problems.
Maybe he has trouble with the Rams for some reason.
It must be just the way they're either their players or the way their coaches kind of call plays. Whatever it is, Sam Darnold has a hard time against the Rams. And one of his teammates, Ernest Jones, a linebacker, people were interviewing Jones after the game and saying, "Oh boy, Sam Darnold, he kind of cost you the game." And he's like, "Stop it with that." He didn't want to hear it. He's like, "Sam Darnold is our quarterback. We win as a team. We lose as a team." He said some bad words mixed in there too, but he basically told them, "Shut up. I don't want to hear that about this Sam Darnold, stunk today," because really they have, 7 wins on the season?
Yeah.
mostly because of Sam Darnold. So if you're that good, you don't really just turn your back on a guy for one bad game. It was a really bad game, but look who's on the schedule now. Oh, the Titans.
Yeah. Titans.
Yeah, did they play?
5?
They lost to Houston on a last-second field goal.
Not surprising.
Not surprising. It's surprising it was close, actually. Ward against the fierce Texans defense was actually only sacked twice, I think. So he's up to 41 sacks. He's on pace for either 69 or 70 this season. And do you remember I told you last year he was on pace, or last week, I told you he was on pace to lose the most yards on sacks? You asked me who had the record. I looked it up. It was Randall Cunningham, the Eagles quarterback, in 1986. He took like almost 500 yards in sack yardage. He lost.
Wow.
He was a really young player at the time, and Randall Cunningham was a very exciting quarterback when he played for the Eagles. He later played for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Played a little for the
I have a
Ravens.
signed card of him.
Do you really?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. Lucky you. So in what appears to be Blowout City, do you think it'll play out like that?
Probably.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too.
So.
Do you have Seahawks by 13.5?
No, 13.
No. Okay. So yeah, some of these, I wonder why they had even numbers like 13 and the Bears game was at 3, it seemed like they were attaching a half to all of these point spreads throughout the entire year until this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Seahawks by 13.5. What do you have for a final score?
Seahawks 38, Titans 17.
Okay, so you've got. I'm just.
Seahawks covering the points.
And I don't. I don't. Just because that 13.5 is a big number, I still have the Seahawks winning by double digits, 23-12.
Okay.
Next game, and you might be surprised who I'm going to be a fan of this week.
Vikings. Bleh.
Well, you'll be surprised because one of the teams I never cheer for, I'm pulling for this week. Let's go, JJ. Let's go, Jefferson. Let's go. Beat the Packers. Because you know who my least favorite team is.
Yeah.
It's Green Bay. And I'm going to cheer for whoever's playing them. Let's see. But the Vikings have to go on the road. The Vikings defense, I thought, played really well against the Bears. You forced 4 field goals and only 1 touchdown. If you only give up 19 points, you deserve better. But JJ McCarthy, as a Viking fan, are you nervous about him yet?
Yes. I don't know how he's going to play for his career.
His accuracy was, I would say, terrible on Sunday. I can remember he missed a wide open Addison. He missed Jefferson, I think, at least 3 times where he was open. I will give him this. Addison also dropped 2 balls. Hockenson dropped 1. Aaron Jones dropped 1. So there were drops also. But McCarthy is just missing open guys. And that's not good for, I'll give him this too. I'm going to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. This is only the Bears game, 5th start. So this is his 6th start against the Packers. So maybe people need to be a little patient. As for the Packers, what's his name? Josh Jacobs. He suffered a knee contusion. It's not like a tear or anything. It sounds more like a bruise. I don't really know what a contusion is. You might know, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But he may miss the game. I didn't see if they called him out yet for sure. But it might be their backup running back, Emmanuel Wilson, who we don't know a whole lot about, whether he's good, bad, or in between.
Hates also got a little dinged up.
He left the game for the Giants game. Malik Willis came in, threw 2 passes, including a touchdown. But then Love quick came back. So it doesn't seem like whatever was bothering Love in the game is going to be a long-term thing. So I would expect Love to play. I kind of expect Jacobs to miss the game. With the Vikings, I know Jonathan Grenard, their edge guy, missed the game against the Bears. So I don't know what his status will be for this game. But for the most part, it looked like Van Ginkel was healthy and Harrison Smith was healthy. And it looked like they were pretty healthy on the offensive line. I guess I don't know if their center is back yet.
Yeah.
For the Vikings. But, you know, all-time record between these division rivals. Almost forgot. What do you think? They've played 129 games.
Hate to say it, but
Blah does have 66 wins. The Vikings have 60 wins, and there were 3 ties. For this game, do you have Packers by 6.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Weren't these some of the? I know Blah was for sure one of the first teams, but Vikings didn't come in.
They came in late. Well, 1960, I think, was the Vikings' first season. I want to say they came in around the time the Cowboys came into the league. The Bears and Packers were more around since like 1919 or 1920. So I think they're about 40 years older than the Vikings.
I think Cardinals, Bears, and Blah were the first
teams. And I would guess the Giants are probably somewhere in there as one of the first teams. But yeah, okay. Well, there's a little history lesson about at least the teams about the NFC North and when they came into the league. Oh, the Lions have to be really old too.
Yeah.
I think. So really old division. The Vikings are actually the youngest team in the NFC North, or newest, I guess you'd call it. So, what are you feeling about this game and what you're gonna see on Sunday?
I mean, JJ is still young. I think he might have better stuff yet to come.
Mm-hmm.
But against a team that, sadly, I would say is playing good, I can't pick Vikings to win.
One thing I should mention is, if you can believe this, JJ's 2 wins as the starting quarterback this year, at Detroit, at Chicago, at division rivals. Oh, who are they playing this week? At Green Bay, division rival.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like JJ's playing his best when he's playing on the road against a division team.
Wow.
So I don't know if that changes your mind, but
I do have a really close score, though.
I have a pretty close score. I'll tell you, I have the Vikings covering the spread.
Okay, same. So, you know who I'm going to pick, so I'm not going to say their name.
So not the Vikings?
Sure.
Okay.
28-17, not the Vikings.
Okay, so you're going to have the home team covering the point spread. I think the purple can keep it close. I think if Jacobs misses the game, that's going to be a big loss for the Packers. It might put a lot of heat on Jordan Love to do it all by himself. But I'm going to have the Packers win 23-17. I don't like it. I will be cheering with you for the Vikings on Sunday, although I won't be watching because I'll be watching the Bears and Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got next?
Giants, Lions.
Okay, I think this is the last noon game this week. The Giants, when they played Green Bay, Jameis Winston kind of played okay. But at the very end, as Jameis Winston is prone to do, with like 50 seconds left, he threw an interception in the end zone. Actually, it was 36 seconds left. Threw an interception on, I think it was 3rd and 6 or something. So it was like, the game wasn't over. It wasn't quite desperation. He just threw a bad pass that got picked. Detroit only scored 9 points against the Eagles.
Which, 2 Eagles games in a row were kind of just...
Great defense.
Yeah.
And that's against good teams, because they held the Packers to 7 points and the Lions to 9. And each team only scored 1 touchdown. So, if you were to start the playoffs today, just like the Chiefs, the Lions would be out. Would you believe that?
If they win this game.
they're in better position. I don't know it kind of depends on what the other teams like the Bears and Packers and 49ers do. Yeah.
Would Blah be out?
They would be in. They would be let's see, 1, 2, they'd be the second wild card. Well, I don't know how they're scheduled. Their record compared to the 49ers record is kind of hard to see whose is better. I'd have to get a calculator out for that, I think. So the Packers are, I think the Packers are the 6th seed, because what I heard was if the playoffs started today, the Green Bay Packers would travel to Soldier Field to play the number 3 seeded Chicago Bears.
The Bears are the 3 seed?
In the NFC right now. Yep.
Imagine that.
I know.
Is it the Rams 1 seed?
I think the Eagles are actually the 1,
okay.
And the Rams would be 2. Bears 3, Bucks 4. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Getting back to this game, so the Lions have to start winning games. They would definitely need to win games like this if they want to get back in the playoff picture.
Would the whole playoffs number 1 seed out of all the teams, would it be Broncos or Patriots?
I can't remember if the Patriots or the Broncos are the 1 seed in the AFC. But yeah, they would be 1 and 2. I think both because they have 1 more win than the Colts, who are 8 and 2, right? Yeah. So sometimes when teams haven't had their bye week or another team has had their bye week, it's kind of hard to compare them because they haven't even played the same number of games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have Lions favored by 10.5 at home against the Giants?
Yeah.
I kind of think that 10.5 is a low number. I have the feeling they're gonna crush them.
Giants 21, Lions 38.
Okay, I'm gonna have a big blowout for the Lions too. I think this is their get right game. Lions 41, G-Men 17. All right, we have 1, 2, 3. I think there are 4 games at 3 o'clock.
First one.
Yes.
Jaguars, Cardinals.
So, since their bye week 3 weeks ago, the Jags have scored 30 points against the Raiders, 29 points against the Texans, and 35 points against the Chargers.
Wow.
So since their bye week, the Jags are putting them some points. And you know, at least
they play. They're not great teams.
Right, and I mean they did play against the Texans, who have one of the better defenses in the league, and the Chargers, who I think have a decent defense. Now the Raiders, okay, they don't really count as a good team. But
I mean, Mad Max Crosby.
Mad Max Crosby is a madman. Yes, that's true. So it's a big thing if they're scoring around 30 points a game the last 3.
But a lot of those were not. They were all wins, except for
not the Texans game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they blew that one. But the Jags are square in the playoff picture in the AFC right now. Arizona. I think maybe we were watching a little of that game at my dad's place on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Jacoby Brissett broke the NFL record for most complete passes in a game. 47. I looked up who had it previously. It is 2 guys shared the record with 45 completions, and they were traded for each other. For each other.
Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff.
Bingo! Nice call. I didn't even have to give you a bigger hint than that.
Was it when Jared Goff was on the Rams?
That I didn't look up. Yeah, that I'd have to. I don't know when they had their 45 complete passes.
If you didn't give me that hint, I'd probably guess Steve Young, Joe Montana, or Dan Marino.
Yeah, I could see that. It's weird that it's now the 3 guys who have thrown the most. They've all been like the current players, you know. So some records, like passing statistics, weren't the highest back in the day because it was teams felt like you had to run the ball.
It's kind of crazy that Jacoby Brissett is a backup. And he just broke that record. Yeah,
and he's always a guy who, I think he was Drake May's backup last year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a team will say, hey, Jacoby, we want you to be here while we have a young quarterback. Like a guy like Brissett would be a perfect backup for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Because if JJ slips, then you've got a guy who, I mean, he's not exactly winning games for the Cardinals, but he's giving them solid quarterback play, right? Like, you don't really have to worry about the quarterback being awful.
And I don't think Jacoby's throws were that far, but I mean, he broke the record. So
if you complete 47, if you complete 47 passes, you're doing something right. Now, the problem in that game was they were losing to the 49ers big. They couldn't run the ball, so they just had to do Jacoby all game long.
And there's not two good receivers except for, what's his name?
The guy you're going to name, Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Yes.
and he actually missed the game. He had his appendix removed. And he's going to miss this next game, too.
So, not good players. Or not good receivers.
Not the best. No, Trey McBride is a good tight end. That's true. And they actually had a guy named Michael Wilson who had a huge game for the Cardinals. I don't know much about him, or, you know, whether he's like a deep threat or whether he kind of goes underneath and catches the first downs. I don't really know what he does. Do you have Jags by 2.5?
Yep.
Okay. Well, opinions about this one?
Well, I think Jacoby's going to have another good game, but they're not necessarily going to throw the ball deep.
Okay.
So, Jaguars 28, Cardinals 23.
I'm going to be similar to you. We're going to agree on the point spread on this one because I do have the Jags covering it. Jags 24, Cardinals 21.
Snoozer.
Ooh.
Sleeper.
Big time snoozer. Yeah, snoozer for sure. Like I say, a sleeper is more like a game that's sneaky good.
Yeah.
This one I would not confuse with sneaky good. What is it?
Browns, Raiders.
Yeah, the Browns were up 16-10 at halftime against the Ravens, but Dylan Gabriel got a concussion, so they put in Shedeur Sanders.
Or it could just be because they wanted him out.
They wanted Dylan out. Well, see, they were winning 16-10, so
True.
I don't think they would trick us and tell us that he had a concussion and, you know, fake it. Because then Shedeur came in and he was so bad. He completed 4 passes and threw 16.
Awful.
Yeah, it is awful. And he threw an interception. Now, it turns out he had no practice time with the starters all year long.
True.
So if you've never been with the first team offense and they say, hey, Shedeur, it's time to get in there. You know, the big thing about a quarterback is you even have to know what is the timing on when he says, red 80, huh! You know, or is it going to be red 80? You know, it's like the speed of his voice matters because the 10 guys on offense need to know, hey man, when are you going to say hot? Right?
Yeah.
And if you've never practiced with the guy, something that simple, it hasn't even been figured out by the Browns.
Yeah, so
it'll help that he's got 3 days of practice with the starters this week. How much it'll help, I don't know.
Yeah. So Dylan's not coming back in?
Not this game.
Yeah.
No. Little about Vegas. Listen to this. Did you see their Monday night game against the Cowboys?
Yeah. Until
maybe halftime.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. Why would you throw the ball 46 times and run it only 12?
When you have Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, I mean, you drafted this guy, number 6 overall or something? Feed the kid. Feed the guy the ball.
And you said he was supposed to be like a Saquon Barkley or Jahmyr Gibbs.
Give him the rock.
You just gotta run the ball when you don't have a great quarterback.
Or great receivers. I mean, you got Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers is awesome.
Yeah, but I saw that number of passes compared to the number of runs. Now, I will say this, they got behind in like the second quarter, and a lot of times when you're losing, you kind of abandon the running game and go pass happy, starting to throw it all over the place. But you got to stay committed to the run. I don't think you can bail on the running game in the second quarter. Yeah. At least stick with it into the second half. And then if you're losing by 2 touchdowns, okay, then maybe tell Geno to chuck it every time. But I don't like that play calling from the Raiders when, what is Ashton Jeanty, just a decoy? Like, don't just fake it to him. Give him the ball.
Geno Smith, I wouldn't say he's the worst quarterback.
No.
But you just can't try to be selfish with the ball. It is the coach calling it.
Probably the coach is calling the plays. I don't think it's Geno every time saying, oh, they gave me a run. Nope. Hey, I'm passing to you, Bowers. He's probably taking the call that he's given.
So you gotta run it.
Yeah.
If you want to win games.
Will they, do you think, this week? I got Vegas by 3.5.
I have just 3.
Okay. The 2 best players in this game are the edge players. The guys who are going to be rushing the passer. Can you name them?
Mad Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
I think he leads the NFL in sacks.
I know.
MG are his initials.
Myles Garrett.
You got it. Yep.
And David Njoku isn't the worst tight end.
He's a tight end, yep.
And Brock Bowers.
Yep, and Quinshon Judkins. So this game has 2 rookie running backs.
2 pretty good tight ends. 2 awesome pass rushers.
1 rookie quarterback, 1 veteran quarterback. It's in Vegas. I don't know. What do you think? I know you picked the Raiders last week, so maybe you're feeling like, I'm not going to pick them again.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
Do you believe in Shedeur?
Yeah.
Okay.
Browns 23, Raiders 21.
Okay, I picked up the Raiders defense for fantasy just for this week because I think Max Crosby is going to eat Shedeur Sanders alive. Not literally, but figuratively.
Yeah.
I'll say Raiders 20 and Browns 16. 4 more games, 2 at 3. This one is an ugly one.
Falcons, Saints.
They are division rivals, so tell me, and I will tell you, they're only separated by 1 win over time.
Which Falcons is kind of surprising.
Yeah. They played 111 games. Who leads the all-time series?
Drew Brees. Let's see, is there any great players for the Falcons that were way back?
They had Michael Vick.
Yeah.
But he didn't win Brees won the Super Bowl.
They just run the ball all the time, pretty much.
He was a running quarterback, yeah.
I'm going to say Saints.
You are correct.
Nice.
56 wins, 55 losses. Atlanta, not only did they lose in overtime at home to the Panthers, Michael Penix got injured for the season. Kirk Cousins is going to be their quarterback.
Good luck.
Yeah. Drake London injured. I think he's going to miss this next game. So their best receiver hurt. Their starting quarterback done for the year. The Saints are coming off their bye week. We'll see if Tyler Shook can get his second win in only his 3rd game starting for the Saints.
Which, way better than Rattler.
Way better than Rattler so far. We've only got 2 games to go off of. So let's not get too wild with what we think of Tyler Shook.
Yeah.
Well, do you have Saints? This might be the closest game of the week. Do you have Saints by only 1.5?
I have Atlanta.
Oh, I bet when Penix was named out, I bet that changed. So yesterday when I looked at it, the Saints were actually 1.5 point favorites. What do they have? Two wins this year? Ouch.
Yeah.
So 2 wins versus 3 wins. Yuck.
I think Tyler Shook or Show.
We'll call him Shook him up.
I think he's a yet-to-come quarterback.
Kind of up-and-comer.
So, and especially with Kirk Cousins on the Falcons and Drake London out.
That's tough. It's going to have to be the B-John show.
I'm going to pick Saints.
Okay.
21-17.
I'm kind of feeling it too. I'm going to take the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints to cover the spread. I'm going to say New Orleans 17, Atlanta 14.
3 games left.
Okay, NFC East game. These teams are in first and second place in their division.
Eagles, Cowboys.
I guess before we talk about the current Eagles and Cowboys, who do you think leads the all-time series between Dallas and Philly?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, Eagles are good around here.
Now.
Now.
Current.
But, Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Cowboys.
You are right again. 74 wins for Dallas, 59 for the Eagles. And I think you're right. I think, well, Dallas was going to a lot of Super Bowls in the 70s and in the 1990s. And the Eagles really only made, well, they made one Super Bowl in the 80s. They made one Super Bowl around 2003 or something. And now they're better than Dallas.
Yeah.
But they've got, they're down 15 wins behind in the all-time record. So if we're talking about these particular teams, we touched on it a little when we talked about the Lions and Packers, but man, the Eagles have only scored 10 and 16 points the last 2 weeks. But you get 2 wins because your defense doesn't even allow 10 points.
So
they're winning it with, I saw Jordan Davis is a defensive tackle who plays next to Jalen Carter. Jordan Davis, for whatever he did in their game against Detroit, he won NFC Defensive Player of the Week. So he's a name I don't even think of when I think about them. But, they've got great guys at corner. They've got great guys on the defensive line. They've got linebackers who can make plays. The Eagles, if their offense catches up to their defense,
they're going to be awesome.
They're probably the best team in the NFC.
Yeah.
Dallas got a much-needed win against the Raiders. Quinnen Williams, the guy they traded for from the Jets, had a big game. He had 1.5 sacks. And Dak, 4 TDs, no picks, had touchdowns to George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. That's a team. Another thing I heard about Dallas, they had 5 guys on defense. So you only have 11 players on defense, right? They had 5 new guys from last week to this week because either they traded for players, they got a linebacker from the Bengals named Wilson, they got Quinnen Williams from the Jets, and then they got 3 guys back from injury. Safety named Malik Hooker, their star linebacker, I think his name is Overshown.
Oh, yeah.
And then a corner who was a rookie who I don't think had played all year that they drafted pretty high. So I know it was the Raiders, but they played better defensively.
Yeah.
And I think part of it has to do with all those guys coming back and the guys they traded for. But they're in a pretty big hole, though, 4-5-1. If they were to lose this game, I think you could stick a 4th in their playoff hopes.
So, great defense against horrible defense.
Maybe getting better defense, but they've been horrible for much of the year, yes.
And then decent, I would say, offense for the Eagles. Well,
they have the players,
but they're just not really doing it that good this year.
Yeah.
Against a meh offense.
I think the Cowboys are better than meh on offense.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty strong on offense.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb's back, which that's huge.
And Dak is playing well. I think I saw he has 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong.
So, I think Eagles' defense are going to hold up not too much points.
Do you have Philly by 3.5?
4.5.
Okay.
No, it's 3. So Eagles are gonna hold them by a lot. Well, 17 points.
Oh, wow.
So Cowboys 17, Eagles 21.
Okay, I'm going to have the same difference of 4 points, so I'll have Philly cover the spread too. I'll say Philly 24, Cowboys 20.
Here's a good game.
Sunday night, big game in the NFC, and if you see, these teams are leading their divisions.
Buccaneers, Rams.
But I think one team is hot. One team has lost a couple games in a row.
Really hot.
Yeah, the team that's not is Tampa. They still don't have Bucky. They still don't have Godwin. They still don't have Mike Evans. And they've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. Now they lost to the Patriots and they lost to the Bills. I forget who they lost to 4 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago. But, you know, that's a team that if they lose this game, look who's going to be tied with them in the standings. The Panthers? That would be weird to see.
Yes.
Because I think everybody thought Tampa was the clear-cut best team in this division. The flip side of this is how well the Rams are playing. Big win against the Seahawks.
They're just playing unbeatable, I think.
Really?
Maybe.
I mean, unbeatable is a high bar, but Stafford is playing almost perfect. He only threw for 130 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. He had no interceptions. So now in the last 7 games, 22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for Stafford. There's, I think, right now, if you had to vote for MVP, I think it's Matthew Stafford. He's playing for the first place team. He's on fire. And he's feeding everybody. He's getting the ball to Adams. He's getting the ball to Nakua. They're running the ball effectively with Kyren Williams.
Yeah, they have Blake Corum sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. And their defense, Jared Verse is a good pass rusher.
Yeah.
Kobe Turner plays on their D-line. I saw a guy named Cameron Curl is playing very well for them at safety. They do have players on that defense who are young and are a good complement to that offense that really doesn't look like they have a hole.
Yeah.
So huge game in the NFC. Do you have Rams by 7?
Just 7. Okay.
Yeah.
I had 6.5.
Must have changed a little bit. So, I don't know what you're feeling about this one. Do you think the home team's got the edge?
I do.
I kind of do too.
I think the Rams are just on fire and they're ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, you don't want to peak too soon though. Because remember what I told you about what Ben Johnson said? He said, we want to be playing our best football in December. So, yeah, the Rams right now are clicking on all cylinders. And it's not bad to be playing good right now.
Yeah.
It's just you want to be playing your best at the end of the year.
And to be honest, I don't know if they are playing their best.
Maybe not. There's still room to grow, probably.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Rams 27, Buccaneers 24.
Oh, almost the same. But I'm going to have the Bucs covering the spread also. Rams 27, Bucs 21.
Oh.
So close. I think you think they're going to make the field goal, and I think they're going to miss a field goal. Okay, 1 game left, and, you know, it's not the worst game.
Yeah. Panthers 49ers.
Okay, they wouldn't be in the playoffs if the season started right now. But if the Bucs were to lose to the Rams, and if somehow the Panthers beat the Niners, would you believe that the Carolina Panthers would be in first place? And I said some bad things about Bryce Young. I think I questioned whether he should even be their starting quarterback next year. He was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was sacked 5 times, but he broke the Panthers' all-time record for passing yards with 448 against Atlanta. And he threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Clearly his best game as a pro player. Brock Purdy returned, threw for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 2 to George Kittle, and they crushed the Cardinals. So Monday night, I know do you have Niners favored by 7? Another one that changed a little. So I had a lot that were single digits and with no half.
I had, I think, more than you. But.
Okay. So huge game for both these teams. Panthers want to get in the playoff mix. 49ers want to stay in it.
So I'm gonna pick close one.
Okay.
But 49ers 21, Panthers 20.
Okay. I'm going to have the Niners cover the spread. I just think they're the better team with Purdy back. I think they're getting healthier. I'll say San Francisco 27, Carolina 19. And I think your mom's around to cue the music. I don't know how long we went this week, but how do you feel about your picks?
Good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Caleb Williams?
Need a win.
Need a dub. Need to keep stacking those W's because the Bears, they play Pittsburgh, they play Philly, they have to play the Packers twice, they play Detroit, they play San Francisco. Their only easy game the rest of the way is the Browns. So it's a good thing they got 7 wins now.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be harder to come by here the next 7 games. Most excited about which game?
It's got to be the Bears game.
Second?
Maybe Colts Chiefs.
Okay, cool. Just because you are a hater. You want to hate watch the Chiefs. You want to watch them lose. Just to probably spite your sister, I think. Right? Okay.
No, she doesn't love Travis Kelce anymore.
No? Okay. Hey, we got some good comments. People saying they're on Team Danny. My friend Dan mentioned something about Todd Stussy, the guy I ripped on, who has a Super Bowl ring. He wanted me to point that out. So I said he made so many false start penalties. Well, he also has a Super Bowl ring, so I bet he's okay. I bet, he doesn't mind that I'm making fun of him. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back next week, right?
Yeah.
Another fun-filled week. Enjoy the football, people, unless you're a Packer fan. And then, no.
Yeah. If you're a Packers fan, don't watch this.